Oh, now we're unmuted.
The only pot stock to invest in. Well, I can see myself
Oh, there's me too.
and Boss Alyssa on the screen, so we must be live.
Gotta be.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are live here from Under the Influence. I'm Marijuana Man, and we're high atop Cannabis Culture Headquarters here in downtown Vancouver to do a show. And joining me today is the star, one of the stars of High Noon. The other stars over there. Boss Liz is here.
Hi.
Welcome to the show
Thank you.
and the festivities ahead.
I stole that welcome. I wasn't sure if you were talking to me or them until after, and I was like, oh, I wasn't probably.
The show. You stole that welcome?
Yeah. I was like, thank you. I feel like you're talking to the folks at home, probably.
Yeah, wow. Then you owe the folks at home a welcome. So, I'll give you that now. Welcome. Yeah, it's Wednesday afternoon in Vancouver. The weather has improved considerably. Finally, some rain have come across the skies in the last couple of days, which is sorely needed in this province at this time of year, always.
It's pretty epic here.
BC's on fire.
It's
Unfortunately.
lit, but not in the good way.
So the smoke's cleared quite a bit in the city now because of the rains, and but still lots of fires raging out there, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to set one right now.
Just keep it contained.
Hey, I'm not camping. We're afraid of everything. I don't know. Like, what the fuck? Why can't you figure out ways to people can do the shit that they're going to do, but do it safely instead of banning everything? They ban everything in sight.
Nope, don't want to deal with it. Out of sight, out of mind. Oh, messy.
Today, I was walking. This city is fucking boring. I was walking to work, or to the studio here, and there was a building a couple blocks away on Hastings Street called the Rotunda. That round building with the big silver dome. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, as I came along, I noticed that it was gone.
Oh, yeah, they tore it down.
So I looked at the fence. They always have an ad for what's coming, and it said, Office Tower. Coming 2018. That was it. Office Tower. They don't even try anymore to have fun or to be exciting or anything. Office Tower.
Facts.
They don't build anything exciting downtown in this city.
I really liked that thing. It was really cool.
It was really cool. But, hey, no. They want to put up an office tower. What the fuck for? Put them out in Delta. Because that's where all the people live that will work there, and then they won't have to drive in. Why don't you do that?
Those places are filled with homes.
What? Filled with
Suburbs.
what? Suburbs. Yeah.
Homes.
They don't want an office tower in the suburbs. It's a fucking strange world. Holy cow. Here's the stupidest thing. Well, I should also mention that Anil is here. Working all the switches over here. You can it's a blur. His hands are a blur. How many buttons? But, you know.
Killing it.
There's
Every time.
chaticians out there. 2 levels of chat.
Oh, yeah. Eh?
Pam Day. The big thumbs up.
Sup 420 Wild Dragon.
Patricia Fisher.
2 joints.
Oh, from Philadelphia. What else we got going on there? 2 joints? Electric steam. Steam me up, Scotty. We came up with Star Trek. The version where everything takes place on a train. Steam me up. So, still continuing to have things go on around cannabis. Oddly enough, here in Canada, things are still going on around cannabis. Big story this week. Well, at least the stupidest story this week. Calgary City Council decided that there should be a place where people who want to smoke cannabis outside or have to, because they're forced to, need a place to smoke outside. So they they offered to the public 4 green spaces, and they want everybody's feedback about it. And you go, are you fucking kidding me? Like, how childish are these fucking people? They themselves are the ones who said you can't smoke anywhere outside. And then they come back pretending that they have the solution to the problem that they created in the first place. And they gave landlords permission to deny you your right to access as well. So,
Do you think it would be like a painted green line, like a green box? They're like, no, stay in the box.
yeah.
No, you're one step out. Get back in that square.
Surely makes you think about what is actually going to take place there at the green space. It's a big city, Calgary. There's a lot of people. The fuck?
People would probably make a lot of friends.
It is. A lot of people are going to show up to smoke weed at this place. Like, how the fuck are you going to
Be like
deal
mini
with
420s
that?
every day.
Like, really? Like, it would... And what are they going to put a fence up? Is this the plan? All right, they're going to fence you all in and you go ushered in, maybe fucking get your ID and shit. I'll bet it'll be surrounded by cops.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
Anybody driving there or driving away. And you go, like, really? 4 parks in the city? So doesn't that make it easy for them to prey upon the cannabis smokers again? And still...
Another thing you could do would be like opening a lounge.
No presentation about that whatsoever.
Give them a space.
Holy fucking Calgary.
Make a business out of it. Allow people to contribute to the economy or whatever you want to call it.
It's not like there's a transit system in Calgary. Everybody drives wherever they're going. Sometimes they take 2 cars. A car and a truck.
Never know when you're going to need a truck.
So lots of driving going on. That doesn't bode well for people driving to the park to smoke a joint. Too much. Then they get saliva tested.
The driver better not be smoking.
They announced
Yeah, right.
that they're going to use that too. The new Dragon saliva test. Is it Dragon 5,000? The 5,000.
Didn't I see an article that said that how bogus it is? I think I saw an article just talking about how bogus.
I wish I had seen an article that said that.
Oh, I'm
This
pretty
is
sure.
bogus.
I'm paraphrasing, but no, I think it said. I think it said.
I'm
Oh, I can't even
paraphrasing.
fucking remember. Shit.
Something
It said something, but it said.
about the saliva thing.
Yeah, that these drug tests wouldn't be able to accurately prove how long it's been since you smoked a joint.
Oh no, it's a horrendous fucking thing that cannot ever stand
I
up
read
in
the headline.
court. Like, it's just too broad, too stupid, too made up by the police for them to keep a job swabbing you on the side of the road to no effect. I don't care what anybody's got in their system. I care only if they're impaired. Isn't that the fucking thing here? That they are able to operate that motor vehicle? I don't give a fuck. Like, really? I don't care. As long as you can do it. And if you can't, then you're in trouble. But still, alcohol is one thing. They have their stupid little test with your breath, and off you go. This saliva test is insane. You gotta wait you'll be hanging around on the side of the road waiting for the results from the stupid Model 5000. And there's 4,999 boxes that didn't work. Well, we got the 5,000 now. Right? So it's just so full of holes legally. I think the lawyers in the land are fucking laughing here. Saying that the constitutional challenges are coming instantly all over this stuff. So, like, how inept are these people? Why are our politicians putting together this kind of legislation?
Oh, yes, please.
When all the lawyers who aren't working for them are saying, no, this ain't going to go. This isn't going to make it 2 feet. So why the fuck are we paying these lawyers that are hired by the government? Like, really? Like, why are these people advising them to go this route when they know they're not going to win? Is it maybe just a calculation of how much money's in it along the way? There's no money in it if you do it right. Apparently.
I think they're just struggling. They want, like, it's like a numbers thing, right? Black and white. If it's below, like, the breathalyzer or whatever, if it's below this number, they're done.
Well, yeah, they want a number.
But for this, it's more ambiguous, like, you know, like a impairment. You know, that leaves it up to, like, each cop individually. How dare they have a thought? So, like, in like a corporate kind of standpoint, it would be like, well, there's got to be a set rule, set law, you know?
Yeah. We'll see. It's going to be rampant out there, I think, because they'll want to use their little spit box. Hey, there's your life, is standing on the side of the road with getting people to fucking spit on stuff. I got a job, Ma.
Ew. Ugh. It's like the worst job in the world.
Yeah, so these green spaces, look how stupid is that? Oh, yeah. I do believe they'd be quite popular. And why not? Because you can go walk around in this green space, be in this green space, and smoke weed. That'd be pretty cool. I think it'd be very popular. And it's going to be a fucking party.
Totally.
And then
people
the
make so many
complaints will start rolling in from every fucking person that lives anywhere near it.
Giant puffs of smoke at 420 every day.
Oh, yeah. Like, how ludicrous is this?
Spread it out.
Mind you, they're now soliciting the public to have their input on this very plan, and the public is all those people who live around there are going to go, not in your life.
I wonder how they're doing that, in a survey form.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, they do have one online. You can go and answer
these multiple choice questions. Like,
it probably says, do you know anything about marijuana? And there's only one box that says no. And then the next question is, do you want to ban it? That's kind of what they do.
Yeah, it's pretty silly. Silly.
And then they say, oh, we consulted the public and here's what we came up with. And you go, wow, let's see the results of what you got from the public, but they never do. They just chose that one grandma that lives fucking 14 miles from everywhere that didn't want it. Oh, see? People don't want it. So, silly. They should be allowing, and obviously, turn to indoor consumption.
Fucking here.
Smoking lounges. Get a fucking... Like, really? You didn't even think of that. Wow.
Yeah, like, come on. People
Because
wanna,
there's
like,
no place to rent in Calgary that isn't already a bar. Right? Really? Like, come on. Holy cow. It's Calgary.
Or a liquor store.
Yeah,
Miles
come
out.
on. When are they going to come around to this shit? Like, I don't give a fuck what you do with your booze and how much fun you have with it or what. But come on. It's cannabis. But that's the thing, right? The stigma. The stigma. People are out there, all sorts of new groups who are just coming to cannabis are going, oh, I don't like the stigma that's around me now. Ah, well, you know what I say, Alyssa?
What's that?
Welcome to the jungle, bitch. Remember that? Yeah, we've... yeah. Well, did you not notice that we've been putting up with that for years and years and my whole life?
The stigma?
The stigma. So, what the fuck? I don't know how I even got there. I was looking up stigma, find out what that was all about. And that led me to the Canadian Association of Mental Health, because they had a big part about stigma. How bad it is to stigmatize people and how it can cause them to have depression and some really straight up stuff about not stigmatizing things. And then I look up their little section on cannabis and they just straight up fucking lie about the effects. They said causes cancer.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
Like that was
Isn't
just
there a lot of
one them.
evidence suggesting that it kind of does the opposite?
Yeah.
Get out of town.
Right?
You're opening my eyes. I think I'm gonna have to step away from this. Put the pipe down.
Yeah, I don't go to Canadian Association of Mental Health anymore. They had a nice card night. We played cards and
Bridge.
played bridge.
Texas Hold'em. The corner. Shh.
But same bullshit goes down the list, all the nonsense that they spout about cannabis, and at the same time say that stigmatization is bad.
Is there more stigma? I thought the stigma was that you'd go to jail.
Well, no, the stigma is that it's somehow bad and dangerous, and you don't want it near you.
Uh-oh. Do
Right?
people still
Growing
think that?
it is, oh yeah,
Who?
because they keep telling them, and the whole, all the public.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I thought the
'Cause they
internet
don't
existed
know.
and people can do their own
Well,
research.
they don't. They're only interested in their own things. They're not branching out to go, hey, I think I'll go find out about cannabis. They just rely on what they see in the newspaper and told in the news, which is the same message that it's dangerous. And it needs to be strictly regulated. They're all going nuts about it. Every aspect of life is going crazy about cannabis right now in Canada. What are we going to do? Even the BC Golf, there's such a thing, the Golf Association of British Columbia. Yeah, that's how much booze is involved in that. So they're, they're putting it.
That kind of grass on the fields either.
Yeah, well, but they're actually, they put out a survey to they are going to, the way they put it nowadays, we're going to survey our database. And I could take the survey. I don't belong to any golf, so I'm not in their database. But this is what they call us now, is a database. Huh.
Not even people anymore.
No. But anyway, they are going to have the survey of people whether or not they feel comfortable about having cannabis on the golf course. Right?
Comfortable.
That's how they're going to put it. Well, yeah, it depends which way the wind's blowing. Really, but yeah, they're going to ban it outright.
You can still smoke cigarettes on the field or on the
Oh, is that right?
course.
Oh, well, there you go. You'll be able to smoke weed then.
Cigars for maybe.
Oh. No, you'll be able to smoke weed then.
Cigar still smells like a cigar.
But what the fuck? Smoking weed in golf is great.
Like, why wouldn't you?
I think we could get
Yeah. You become way better golfer too when you're high.
you look like what's that big John Deere,
John Daly. Oh, look at how his brain works.
But
eh?
like, if it's legal, why are people so concerned about what other people are doing with it? It doesn't seem like it's not actually like legal though.
Don't you still get that out in the public? People scoffing at you when you're smoking weed.
Oh, you
Yeah,
can.
I guess, but that's just like.
God, with the
I
stigma.
guess that's the stigma.
Yeah. Oh, it's just the stigma you smell.
Whatever. Like, come on. I don't know. Like, you don't get mad at people for drinking coffee or whatever. Like, running around drinking coffee
Or
everywhere.
even
like,
smoking cigarettes for that.
Well, people do get pissy about that. They're like, my lungs. As they're walking by. Oh, okay, okay. I've been told lots of times.
I
It's
don't know.
bad
My
for me.
experience smoking cigarettes, I do my best to go as far away from people as I can get,
Truth.
so I don't bother anyone. Yet they're attracted to me like fucking moths. I don't know. Doesn't matter where I go and stand, the person will have to come and stand right there too for whatever reason, right?
You're gonna light up a joint.
No, I'm already smoking a cigarette.
You don't want to get in there.
Last week it was people eating food. As soon as I went out and have a smoke, I was surrounded by people eating food. You go, like, didn't you notice I was smoking a cigarette here? Get the fuck out of my way. I have to go stand near the exhaust pipes of cars to have my smoke. Huh.
Yep. It's hard to get away
It's
from
just a
people.
thing that we have. Right?
Oh, what
Now
was
you-
it? Was it like Greek Day? Everyone was like, I think it was Greek Day. And all of Kitsilano was like blocked off. And as you like walked away from the crowds, you would see more and more people smoking weed off to the sides. It's
Yeah, every intersection and corner of the alley had people smoking weed.
like little groups of
It
people
was
smoking
wonderful.
weed. And you're like, oh, this is amazing. Because it's just a concentration of a lot of people. So I guess like, you know,
Yeah.
the ratio of pot smokers to non-pot smokers. And by the way, they were selling beer on the street for like $4 a can. And they were everywhere. People were just running around with beer cans in their hand. In fact, I was working at the dispensary, which is why I was all up in there. I was working at the kids' dispensary, and people were coming in as if it was okay to bring beer into our store. And I was like, oh, we've been asking people not to do that. You know, so if you could just like finish it outside and then come back or whatever, or, you know. And then he just goes like, this is his can. And he just goes, oh, haha, there, it's away. And I'm like, no, it's not really what I meant. I just like, you know, it's not my, I didn't sell you the beer. Like, come on, it's a store. Why do you think you can be like that?
I don't know. I guess they got some way of easily getting a waiver on a license to do that. Huh. That's pretty fun. Wish you could do that with cannabis.
Just
Have the cannabis truck and the
Right.
biggest fucking lineup at Greek days.
Yeah, Flocky's so much better when you're done.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Like double
Everybody
the
sell more
sales of
food?
everyone's food.
So small-minded, but leads us to another thing that's going on is the beverage companies are coming sniffing around cannabis industry, trying to figure out how they can play.
And I actually felt bad for the bars that day because they were preparing to have like a crazy busy day in their bar because there's so many people coming out for Greek Day.
And people are selling
And
beer for $4
they
on
stuck a they stuck the beer tent right in front of a bar,
Wow.
That's
like
amazing.
just in front of them. And I was like, damn, and undercutting them hard. It's like $4 for a can of beer,
Huh.
and you can walk around with it.
Huh?
You're like, damn, that's a harsh move.
No kidding.
That
Way to
is
not
kind
even
of
care.
brutal.
Yeah.
Huh. Wonder
I
how they
noticed
get
that.
permission to do that. Or maybe they didn't.
I mean, that bar just recently moved from across the street. It's the Copper Tank. But still. And I think there was even, or maybe it was in front of the French. Either way. And then I asked the people at the bar after. I was like, has it been busy? They're like, actually, not that busy. We thought it would be busier.
They didn't realize there was a beer tent right out in front.
Well, it was just down the street. If it wasn't right in front of their bar, it was like, 3 doors down.
What a band.
2 doors down.
Kryptonite. That's right.
Oh.
It's a good song. Played really fucking loud. It takes the loudness nicely. But yeah, beverage companies are sniffing around cannabis. All Heineken's and
Yeah, Heineken's making a cannabis beverage.
Heineken's making a cannabis
they
beverage?
already have
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What?
some sort of infused soda.
It's an infused
Oh no,
soda?
it's gonna go kaboom. Everybody be doing it. Everyone.
Sure.
Yeah. Coca-Cola. That's who I want. I want them.
Red hot.
I think that, yeah, that's exactly, they should, for sure, I think.
Oh, I bet once, if they're smart, oh my god. What about candy companies, chocolate bar companies? Do you think they'd get into the edible game?
On a fucking heartbeat.
Right? Because O. Henry already has the, what is it, the 425 bar?
Oh, they're fixing to put CBD in that as fast as they can.
Oh, yeah.
That's where they're all headed, really, is CBD world, I think. A lot of these people, they're, because THC has a stigma attached to it. Huh.
You know, it's so hard. Like, I get that there's a stigma, but I haven't actually, like, experienced it for a very long time because I am engrossed in this world a little bit
Yes.
in my life. So I kind of have maybe lost touch of that point of view, but it's so annoying. I'm just
Well,
going to tell you right now. It's
Here's
really
the
annoying.
thing about, there's a thing about how CBD is good for preventing psychosis. But of course, THC is suspected of causing it.
Inducing psychosis. Oh.
Right?
CBD's the cure.
So they're able to just separate this shit just like that, knowing nothing about it. Go, this one's okay. This one is the cause of psychosis. Really? There's no evidence whatsoever that it causes psychosis at all. Yet, they keep getting to say it. And now, they just want CBD. Fuck you. You gotta let us have THC first. Come on. It's not gonna hurt. Be nice if we could just get good weed legalized. How about that?
That'd be nice.
Instead of going through all of this trouble.
I feel like some regulation's not a bad thing. You know, make sure that no one's like using pesticides like mycloblutenol. Is that what they were using?
No one thought of ever using that until fucking LPs you started using it.
So
Never was used in the black
feel like
market.
you're creating the problem that you seem to need fixing.
Well, so far, before the LPs came up with using that shit, no one seems to have been hurt from using cannabis. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, no matter what they've done to it,
Commonly cause of death by cannabis.
they
Trying
potentially
really,
will.
really hard.
That's what they're trying for.
Mm-hmm.
But
There hasn't been one yet, so
So up till now, it doesn't look to me like the black market or illicit market or whatever you want to call it is very dangerous. 'Cause nobody's getting hurt. Not even the Hells Angels hurt us with their weed. Okay, well, some of this stuff was overfed and fucking under, but still, people report that they had no problems. Come on. This is, I don't know. I don't think they're spraying a lot of pesticides on this shit. I really don't. Yeah, powdery mildew's a problem, but stuff can happen there. But
Wasn't even like the people that end up, like having a little too much for their tolerance on 420, don't they end up just like having dehydration? Isn't that a lot of it?
I'm not sure about
I
that,
don't
but
know.
potentially.
Well,
I
in
don't
my
know,
experience, I
that's-
find people that like maybe
Cannabis
are a
must
little
do that.
dehydrated, kind of like
That's why you
are
get,
more prone to green out.
see, if you're a real cannabis smoker, you get the cotton mouth, right?
Yeah.
So there's no saliva to test. They're gonna run into that problem soon enough.
Like, Captain, I gotta tell you, this thing is just not working.
Yeah. No, that's all I got. What am I gonna do now?
I swab dry Q-tips every time.
Yeah. Just have cotton in your mouth at all
It's-
times.
Yeah.
Well, another interesting thing today, Tilray, one of the LPs out here in British Columbia, reported sales of $10 million in the last 3 months.
What? It's crazy.
And then the next sentence was that they are now valued at $5 billion.
What? But they've only made 3 million.
They only had,
The last few months.
they had 10 million in
Yes,
sales.
but the
in
projection
last
of our
3
sales,
months.
they can only go up from here. And
Well, further on into the text, one finds that in the 3
Steve
months
says,
previous to that, they had the same amount of sales, around 10 million, and they reported a loss of 12.8 million. So the announcement today was that they had sales of 10 million again, right? Which is probably pretty easy to do because they got that customer base, but they didn't. So their stock prices skyrocketed up 40% instantly, and now it's settled down to up 18%, which is a pretty big jump in the stock world. And you go, wow, like their track record is that on $10 million sales, they lost 12.8 million. Go, wow, that's interesting. So they're worth more now?
that doesn't make any sense.
No, it does not. That's what the real business world is like, though. It's very speculative. Kind of the higher the number, the better it is.
You see, I punched the numbers into the system, and they're saying
So I don't know what's going on there, but it looks like Canopy Growth will probably buy them because now they're worth $5 billion, and Canopy Growth's just got that in the fucking bottom drawer to throw out and gobble stuff up. So I'm not too sure why anybody chose to value them out loud and say it's $5 billion. Like, where does that come from? No justification for whatever. So I read that this morning. And
have
then
you ever watched Dragon's Den? I feel like that's where I've
yeah.
learned most of my like business.
monads.
And like they ream out anyone that comes in, and they're like, I value my business at
Yeah.
$200,000, and they're like, how many sales have you made? They're like, none.
Yeah.
And like, how can you haven't made anything? Just saying.
But by the same token, that's not really how it works either, because the people are out there with just projected sales, and You may not have to show how that can be accomplished, but yeah, you can raise a lot of money just on those kind of things.
I don't know. I don't understand any of that
No,
world,
me either.
so
But
hard
it's
for me
all
to
about
speculate.
money, right? So if they come at it from that point of view, but so I don't quite get how fucking Tilray's worth anything. Why? It doesn't matter to me really, but oh no, it's just crazy out there. And will continue forever. There will always be somebody, every walk of life now is going, oh my God, how does this affect me? Right? All organizations, shall we allow this legal thing to be here? We'll deny it. We'll ban it. Right?
Well, that's not legality.
No, but everybody is now deciding where they didn't used to. They didn't have to decide before. Lots of people smoke pot on a fucking golf course. Look, it's a golf course. It's a big open field. I'm going to offend the guys behind me? Oh my God. Well, they're drinking everything. Drinking all the alcohol they could stuff in their cart.
I can breathe.
When I was 12, I was at an expo in Montreal and went into this pavilion, and in there they had this golf thing where they had like a fucking 9-iron or whatever, and if you could chip the ball into that hole over there in the curtain, win a prize. So I stepped up, and luckily enough, first shot went right through the hole.
Nice. Nailed it.
I won an ashtray
As a 12-year-old.
as a 12-year-old. Yeah.
Huh.
Which was fine with everyone, apparently, and quite proud of me. Ended up in that very same place later on in the afternoon. My dad said, well, we should go in there and try that out again. And so we went over, and different guy running it. He said, oh, no. He says, it's not for kids. I said, well, I won an ashtray earlier. So he let me do it. But I didn't win again. Who needed 2 ashtrays at 12?
Some 12-year-olds.
And I got to keep it. I had it in my room.
What did you do with it until you were
I don't
13?
remember.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Laying there. It wasn't really an ashtray to me. It was the fucking thing I won, putting that ball through that hole.
Just
I
a nice
guess.
piece of, was it a glass ashtray?
Yep.
Just like something like this?
Yeah, this little square Players brand it was.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Interesting. He smokes Players.
So branding. There's a thing going on too. Aurora, one of the big giant LPs, number 2 I think they are, but they want to be number 1. They sponsored a whole bunch of shit this summer. Free concerts across the land with just the name called the Aurora Illumination Tour. And
They wouldn't call it the Aurora Borealis?
well,
Come on.
they,
Fair.
I don't know, you had to fucking win your tickets online, and then when you get there, inside is merchandise like crazy with the word Aurora on it. And Aurora was everywhere. And to buy the merchandise, though, you had to give them your name and email address. so that you could become their database. Oh, look at the database
I hate
on
those.
her. Oh, I think he's such a nice database. So people fucking said, hey, wait a second. Health Canada says that Aurora is not allowed to do any of that.
What do you
Not-
mean? Do
The
any of that?
LPs are not allowed to promote anything, sponsor anything. They're not allowed to brand anything or promote their brand.
What?
Oh,
I've
shit.
seen tweet signs everywhere this city.
Not supposed to. So,
And they all make me mad because, like, their thing is high, but it's not even spelled with a GH. And you're like, what? You're total.
well, they can't make any association of cannabis. So people questioned this and went and talked to the fucking owner of Aurora, Cam, and said, dude, and he went, well, just says Aurora. We're not saying anything about cannabis. There's no discussion about cannabis at all, and it just says Aurora. And so, somebody interjected that it could be anyone. They don't own the name Aurora. It could be anything. Right?
What?
And you're going, wait a second. You're talking to the guy who's doing it. And they're going, oh, no, it could be anybody. No shit. Like, it was just embarrassing. It was so fucking poorly done. Because their actual name is Aurora Cannabis Incorporated.
Oh, what?
Right. So they put Aurora on everything that they, it's probably in the bathroom, no doubt. And they will use that database that they gathered in the future to contact you and send you fucking Aurora ads, which is probably they're not supposed to do. So interesting that, first thing comes along you guys don't like, you'll break the fucking rules and then chastise us for having done it ourselves.
And we got away with it, too.
Yeah, and you'll get the rules changed because now you're worth $5 billion. You're valued. Tilray. So, actually, I read that story about Tilray being valued at $5 billion early in the day, and then later in the day I saw a headline from Forbes magazine posing the question as to whether or not we thought Tilray was overvalued.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because they lost $12 million last 3 months, which would be like $22 million because they sold 10. No, it's craziness.
I'm stoned. Oh, no.
Whoa, that's a sticky joint. So, yeah. Coca-Cola, call me. We'll hook you up. We'll make something nice, eh?
The good stuff.
Yeah, something really nice. No, the future is cannabis.
Call
People
it
are going
Coca-Cola?
to. People are going to. Coca-Cola. There you go.
Coca-Cola.
That's a
Is
free
that
one.
from, like, Coca?
Yeah.
Back in the day? No?
That's a free one, Coke.
You're welcome.
Maybe not a free one. We'll talk. Alyssa should get paid for that.
Call me.
No, big fan of Coca-Cola my whole life. That's the only soda I like to drink. Branch out from time to time, but it's always afterwards you go, well, it wasn't a Coke.
I like Pepsi.
What?
I like Pepsi.
Brutal. No. I've tried. Something about it. It isn't a Coke.
It's sweeter.
It's
More sugar
sweeter.
freely. Yeah.
Oh, maybe so. No. Coca-Cola Company had an opportunity to buy Pepsi-Cola Company at one point. They went, yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're going to amount to much. That's what the guys said.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, they're neck and neck. Ruling the world. But everything's going to be infused with cannabis. Everything.
Why not?
It's an open market. You got to try everything. People are just going berserk right now looking for shit that'll work. How can we? What can we? How can we? Where can we? Right? And just looking around going, well, how can I put fucking cannabis in this thing that I do already? Right? They all are. So it's going to be interesting.
Maybe everyone will be healthier.
They absolutely will. And that'll be wonderful. And it'll be all CBD shit. Because now you don't want them to get high.
I have to work. I get paranoid. I guess that's the stigma again.
Huh?
Oh my gosh. Like people that come in and ask for CBD and then you show them the CBD tincture and it's 20-to-1 ratio. So for every 20 milligrams, which is all they'll ever take because they're afraid, you get 1 milligram of THC. That's not going to get you stoned. Like, it's not going to get anyone stoned. But they're all like, oh my God, I can't have any. I can't have that. I can't have any THC. I have to go to work and it makes me super paranoid. I'm like, oh my goodness. I don't know what to tell you. I promise you, you're not going to feel stoned.
But this one has no stigma.
Oh, yeah.
There's no stigma added.
It's interesting.
Yes, it's unfortunate that, and it's kind of tricky. What I see too is that the new cannabis industry would like to continue to advance the notion that there's no difference between indicas and sativas, which is a very unusual argument to be presenting over and over again. But I understand that they just don't want to grow sativas, is what they're up to. And of course, if you analyze cannabis, whether it's what we call a sativa or an indica, pretty much going to test as cannabis. Right? It's all the same, just different shape.
I feel like sativa is like referring a lot to just the structure of the plant, physical structure of the plant.
Has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Therein lies the difference between that and indica, the structure of the plant. But at any rate, they're now trying to introduce this notion, and then they do it. It's so fucked up with cannabis. Like, you can't win for losing around this whole issue. They're able to just so easily slip in the medicinal word and go, okay, well, from a medicinal point of view, we're saying it doesn't make any difference whether you're getting indica or sativa. And right? Well, from a recreational point of view, it sure does make a difference.
I think even medically it makes a difference.
I do too.
If I'm in pain, I'm going to smoke indica because, I don't know, word makes it
But
more numb or something.
by
I don't know.
using only a medicinal point of view here, they didn't need to reckon with the idea of smoking a sativa joint in the recreational world. Right? So they're out there trying to figure out how to just grow the biggest, fastest yielding indicas they can to make as much money as they can. They don't want to grow sativas and don't know anything about it, and which is unfortunate.
Why did they say they're not going to grow sativas or something? Is that what you're...
Well, no, but this is the introduction of this notion that it doesn't matter to the general public. It's not going to matter. And they're also
I don't know.
in
It already does.
Oh, I think it does too. But they're also introducing the idea that the names of these strains have gotten very confusing, and because of the illicit market, there's confusion. You don't know if you've got pink kush, or you don't know, right?
Well, that's why you talk to the experts, the ones that have been doing
it. I know, but they don't. Right? So they're introducing the idea here to abandon the names of the strains from their point of view, is what they're up to. Is what they're going to do, is they're going to grow nothing but indicas, and they're going to fucking give it a number.
People.
And try to convince you that it doesn't matter.
Why don't you just like learn? It's because like they just don't know, and they just don't want to. They're like, I don't know what pink kush means.
Well, yeah.
We're gonna just do our own thing.
That's part of the cannabis culture, is that kind of stuff. People do actually care, and there is something to be known from a, purely market point of view. Like, why wouldn't... See, they just don't want to compete. They know that the illicit market is way better at this. And you can kind of tell if that's super silver haze when you get it, when you look at it.
Well,
you go, wow, yeah, that and smells like it. Don't know 100%. Doesn't really fucking matter.
But there's history to these strains that already exist. You think we're just like made them here? Like these are the same ones that are in Amsterdam? Like globally. These strains are what's known. Like it's not like it's just our thing. Like it's a global thing. It's just like the history of the plant. So why don't you just get to know the history and not change it to what you want? Just like a number. Like come on, that's not going to mean anything to any of that.
They don't want that to be considered to be important. And then here's what I predict they're up to is to, I don't know, there's different levels of how much you're going to pay for weed. There's two different, your regular weed's going to be X amount and premium is going to be this much. You go, what the fuck? Like, why is there two? Why isn't it all premium? We've never had a chance to have premium weed ever because the cops are coming. Now it's legal and you've still got shit that isn't all that good. Cheaper weed? What the fuck? And potentially well-grown weed called premium for more? How'd that work already? I don't get it. All right.
True that.
And the real business world is fucking wild for shit they'll do. They'll do anything, right? To fucking corner this, to take over that. Well, you go, wow. So, premium weed, yeah. See, it was only in Prohibition, in the black market, that there could be different levels of weed, because essentially we didn't have enough weed, and it would all sell. So there had to be some sort of grading system here to fucking determine how much stuff would be based on how good it was. Outdoor, fucking poorly grown, indoor, greenhouse, poor, well-grown indoor. It all had its own place in the market because it was illegal and you would sell it. But now, that shouldn't exist. It should be just one kind of weed. Good weed.
Or two, like this person, BB, saying outdoor, indoor.
Yeah, for those who like outdoor. It should be easily and readily available and really cheap.
That's what I was thinking. For those who really want, if they want to have like a class if you will, premium, or just to separate it by indoor, outdoor, so it's less. But it's like marketing, you know. Premium. Oh, I'll pay top dollar. Sure. It's the primo. It says on the package. Look, guys.
Well, whose
Yeah.
determination is it that it's primo to begin with, and why wouldn't everything else you produce be the same? How could you possibly produce them, and why? Oh, this isn't as good. This stuff isn't as good.
They would have called it.
Yeah.
They just want to call something premium, so fine. Indoor,
Premium
outdoor,
J196.
or inexpensive, you know, like.
So go out
just-
there and get fucking Blue
Yeah.
Dream. Go out and get these hybrids. Go pay for the fucking real deal from the people who made them, and grow that shit and sell it to us. And if you know why? Why are you whining about fucking not being able to fit in? Like really? It's not my fault that you don't have access to maybe all this kind of stuff that the black market has. If right, they have all the strains. That's where they all came from. Everything growing in canopy growth in Aurora and Tilray came from the black market. All of it. Or they wouldn't have any cannabis to grow. They didn't invent cannabis. They bought it from somebody else who said it was this. I don't know. But we shouldn't allow them to just rely on numbers to identify stuff. I would like to know
Forgot
the
how we got-
heritage of these things, because it does matter. And I can prove it.
Well, yeah. There's a history to all the things, right? So why not?
Yeah, like, it's just a plant. If you'd look at it like that for just like 1 second ever, just a plant, we should kind of treat it that way a little bit. That, hey.
And it's like, I don't know, different types of tomatoes, for example. You're like, these are plum tomatoes. I'm pretty sure like everywhere calls them like some sort of translation of like, you know, it's like consistent.
Yeah.
You know, people who speak English probably would call it a heirloom tomato, a heirloom tomato. No matter, you know, like they're still all the same type of tomato, so why not keep that consistency with strains? But I get if you want to do like a catalog style, you could make a catalog and have those strains to differentiate, you know, to the people that do know what
Yes.
the differences are.
No, some,
I don't know.
we'll keep it going. But yeah, we gotta watch them.
These are just my thoughts.
I don't know how many joints we've just smoked, but come on.
No.
I don't want to get high. The more you smoke, the less high
7.
you get, but you just feel even better.
We've smoked 7 joints.
So,
I just counted.
for those who don't want to get high, you should get really high for a lot. Just up your intake of strong marijuana just for a little while, and then
This
you're
one's
there.
number 8. My bad. Ooh, that's a good number.
8 joints
Mm-hmm. Smoke 8 joints
in the morning.
in the evening time, early evening time, late afternoon.
That was fun.
Oh wow,
We
that went by quick.
spent another hour rambling around about marijuana.
Classic. Hashtag free the tomatoes.
Wish I had a green space to go to smoke outside. Come on. See, they refuse this smoking business. Like, somebody's got to step forward here some point and go, look, the fucking first-hand smoke doesn't seem to be hurting anyone, how could the second-hand smoke be dangerous? Annoying, perhaps, but dangerous? Come on. Where you need to go to a fucking field, herd everybody out to the field in Calgary and go, hey, you smoke your marijuana over there where we can watch you. Who has ever done anything like that to anyone?
I was gonna say, in my high school, you had to get off school property to smoke cigarettes. Couldn't smoke cigarettes on school property. So we had to go to the Trans-Canada Trail. You know this giant trail that goes across Canada. Happened to go right in front of my school in Stittsville. And there was a literal yellow line they had painted that you had to be on the other side of
To smoke?
to smoke. And they'd come out there and be like, there's the line, one step over. And you're like, really?
They
One step
painted a
over?
line out in the bush?
No, it was like a path, and then there was like a trail, you know? So it was like a... Yeah.
That's where the school property ended?
Yep.
Wow.
Smokers over there. Children.
Teachers.
I mean, not really children. Teenagers.
Yes, it was, we could smoke in class.
What?
No.
I was like, you're kidding me.
It takes the edge off.
I would love that shit when I was a kid.
Yeah, but we could smoke right outside the door of the school.
Really,
You'd
eh?
stand right there, yeah. Just had to be outside. Teachers were jerks.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Most of them.
Most of them. But at any rate, thanks a lot for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
That
This
was fun.
Totally random.
And fairly stoned.
The universe brought me here. Da, da,
Yeah.
da.
And a cab.
Thanks, pal. Yeah, that's totally what it was. Thanks for the ride.
So all our best wishes to Kush Queen out there doing whatever the
Congratulations.
fuck she's doing. She's got a new Jeep.
Yeah.
I heard.
I did see that on her Instagram. So you could do that.
Al, I don't know. He was conferencing or conferencing today.
Mm.
Had to go to a conference. Keynote speaker.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm not sure.
With key lime pie, I can't remember, something like that. And thanks to Anil for hooking us up in the visual and audio department.
Thanks, Anil.
And to all you dedicated viewers for joining in both live and with your fingers on keyboards in the chats. Do appreciate it. Tune in all week long. Miles was here too.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone now.
He hobbled off.
But do tune in to your show on Saturdays.
On Saturday, high noon. Had Saturday at noon. Every Saturday.
Come say hi.
Hi. We get high for the hour of noon. High noon.
Nice. Other stuff happens throughout the week too.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, Jer will be in the house with the news, Cannabis News Network. That was a thing. That was like a foghorn just went off in the harbor. Huh. Titanic.
Oh
What
no,
the
we had an
fuck?
iceberg.
Oh, maybe
Ice wreck.
iceberg. Oh, maybe I'll have a cheeseburger. Huh.
Oh wait, no, this was Rockstar tuna.
Rockstar
Not ice wreck.
tuna. There's no such strain as tuna kush. Really? Come on. It was only called that because it came to us in tuna cans. So it was jokingly referred to as tuna kush. But it was just some kush.
Just kush. So I guess it's
So
Rockstar
for it
kush.
to be crossed to another kush is interesting. and still doesn't come in a tuna can. I'll bet in the basement of this building there would be a can opener that we went and bought at that time so we could get to our weed.
Really?
Yes. Well, we all bought cans of tuna, and it was tuna fish.
That's amazing.
Interesting. So, yeah, let's get out of here. Thanks
Okay.
a lot for joining us, and we'll see you next time. I'm Marijuana Man.
I'm
Peace.
Boss Lisa. Bye.
Pot.